This is video number 5 in the series on RoboAnalyzer based online competition. So the earlier videos have been related to introduction to forward and inverse kinematics of planar manipulator. Then we looked at 2R planar manipulator, forward kinematics formulation. Then we looked at how to write MATLAB program. So I would request you to go through this particular video to understand how to start off with MATLAB, because we'll be extending this code. Then in the previous video we looked at the formulation for planar 3R manipulator, and in this video we'll be looking at extending the 2R manipulator program to have 3R planar manipulator, and also we'll try to understand how to do the animation of this manipulator. Okay, so I have started off MATLAB online version. You could also use Octave, which is a free alternative. So in the MATLAB I already have code for 2R manipulator. So I don't suggest to do copy paste, but to save time I'm just going to take these code and I'll create a new file. Let me just try to tidy it up a bit. So in this particular 3R manipulator we'll have 3 links. So A1 is the length of the first link. So the formulation is shown here: A1, A2 and A3. Theta 1, theta 2, theta 3 are the 3 joint angles, relative joint angles. And point O, A, B and C are mentioned here. Okay. So the extension will be in this form. I'll have A3 as 0.5 units. And let me try to use 30, maybe 60. Theta 1 degree is 30, theta 2 degree is 60, theta 3 degree is maybe 90. So it is easy for us to visualize. So in MATLAB we would like to use the cos and sine function, and the parameter has to be as a radian, in radians. So theta 1 is shown here. We multiply theta 1 degree into pi by 180. Similarly theta 2 is also multiplied. Now I'll also multiply theta 3, because we want our code to have internal calculations in SI units. Okay, now this is part of how to get the coordinate. Okay, so let me try to get these coordinates. So A will have AX and AY coordinates, which is evident from here: A1 cos theta 1, A1 sin theta 1. Now B will have XY coordinate, which will be AX plus this horizontal distance, which is AX plus A2 into cos of theta 1 plus theta 2. So this is part of the 2R manipulator till point B. So similarly BX, BY have been done. Now CX is going to be the X component of B plus A3 into cos of theta 1 plus theta 2 plus theta 3. Okay. Similarly we'll have for Y component, which will be by plus A3 into sine. Please remember, in the formulation also we had derived it. So this is what is the formulation. This is AX, this is AY, BY, and the third term is A3 into sine of theta 1 plus theta 2 plus theta 3. Okay, so having said that, let me just put it here so that we are updating our code. Okay, now rest of the things also will more or less remain the same. We have horizontal axis, x-axis, again x-axis, then this is y-axis, y-axis. Now these are the coordinates for the tip, from the beginning to the tip of the link 1. So it starts from 0, 0 to AXAY. So the link 2 will go from AXAY to BXBY. That's how we write. So if you just extend this code, you will also be able to write further. Let me try to again tidy up a bit. Because we need more. Okay. So let me try to save as much space as possible. Okay, so these are link 2. Now we'll have link 3. Link 3 will have x coordinates which will start from bx to cx, bx point to cx point x coordinate. Similarly, link 3y will have from by to cy. Okay, so yeah, we just had extended it. We'll now try to plot it. So the red color is the x axis, horizontal line we'll draw. Then we'll draw y coordinates, the y axis, green vertical line. Then we are using a blue line. Okay, let me just extend it now. We'll have blue, and then we have the second link that is in cyan color, second link. Now obviously we want the third link. So in MATLAB, if you use 3 dots, you can go to the next line, because I want to go to the next line without putting a semicolon. So now I am going to use this set of lines, and so here it is. Okay, I think there is a problem here. Okay, maybe on the desktop version the 3 dots are allowed. In the web version maybe it is not allowed. Let me just try to okay, so I'll just scroll it so that you know what is there towards the right side part. So this is link 3 x coordinates and link 3 y coordinates, and the color green, blue, red, K is black. I'm just wondering if we have any other colors. Yellow, yeah, may not look very beautiful, but we can try. Okay, what is the error here? A semicolon might be missing. Okay, maybe because it is not saved. Okay, yeah, I have to put a comma there. Okay, now there are no errors. So what we have done is we have single plot command in which there is a red line, there is a green line for xy coordinate system. Then the link 1 is shown in blue color, link 2 is shown in cyan color, link 3 will be shown in yellow color. You can use a different color also. Okay, so I'm going to save this file as fkin underscore 3r. Click on OK. Then we'll go to editor and click on run. A figure will be shown on the right side part. So you can see that the first theta is 30 degrees, the second one is 60 with respect to the blue line. So that means 30 plus 60 will become 90. That is why it is vertically up. And the theta 3 is going to be like this. With respect to the cyan extension, it is 90 degrees. So this tip is your forward kinematics. Now if you click on it, you will get that x is having some value, y is also having a particular value, that is cx and cy. You can also go to workspace here to understand what are those values. Cx and cy values are also shown. You can also note this down. Or if you want to show it to the end user, you can get rid of the semicolon and go to the next line. So when we do this, the output is also shown in the command window when you run this program. Okay, let me just go back. Now obviously we also wanted forward kinematics. That means we want to know the phi angle, because this is the inclination of yellow link. So that phi, I'll call it as phi, is theta 1 plus theta 2 plus theta 3. And if you want to say phi in degrees, it is phi into, you will invert it into 180 divided by pi. Okay, now let me just run this. 5 degrees is what we want. Okay, it is still executing. It is taking a while. Okay, let me try it again. Sometimes the online version takes a while, but the desktop versions are usually fast. So you can see that the point has reached here, and in the workspace if you go, you'll also have a phi, which is pi 3.14 in this case, and you have converted that to degrees. Okay, now if you just modify anything here, and accordingly the x coordinate will change. So for example, right now it is 0.366 1.25. Let me run it now. The length of this blue link will be reduced, and accordingly you can see that the end effector coordinate modified. Okay, so typically in a robot these lengths do not change. We only deal with the changes in the joint angles. That is why it is called as the revolute joint. Okay, so this is the forward kinematics, where we have given one set of angle, and accordingly we are seeing one diagram. Okay, next we are going to look at animation of the same. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just copy this code. I'll create a new file because we don't want to mess around too much with the same code. So here animation means we will give some joint range. Okay, theta 1 will go from say 0 to 30, theta 2 may go from say 0 to 60, like that. So for that, let me give range here. Theta 1 degrees min, theta 2 degree min, min means minimum, theta 3 degree min, minimum. So I'm now going to have theta 1 degree max. Let's have an increment of 30 degrees because it is easier to visualize. Then we'll also have theta 2 degree max as say 90 degrees. So these angles can be anything. I'm just having some values. Theta 3 degree max is, let us increment by again 30 degrees. Okay, so we have defined 3 degrees of freedom, and we have defined each motion. 30 to 60 is theta 1, then 60 to 90 is theta 2, or if you want to use some other values, that is also fine. Okay, now obviously we would like to convert them also, because ultimately we want these to be in radians, whatever angles we do. Okay, let me just use this, Control C, Control V. This is theta 2 minimum, theta 3 minimum. Okay, so similarly we'll have, one can also use arrays here, but I don't want to put in too much effort because sometimes people get overwhelmed with whatever we do. So it's always easier to have more variables for you to understand. Okay, now I'm doing a lot of copy paste, but ideally I do not do. It's just to save time I'm doing. I would suggest you to please type, because sometimes in copy paste we do make mistakes which are very hard to find out. Okay. Now these are the values, theta 1, theta 2, all those values. Right. So the animation part is how much we should move, right? Or how many steps are required to go from minimum to maximum. Okay. Now how do we do? We will have number of steps. Maybe I'll put it as a 50 steps. It is a variable. You can define whatever you want. Okay. Now there are different ways of getting this animation done. One of the ways is you get the delta increment. Okay, so what should be the delta increment for theta 1? Incremental motion. Similarly for theta 2. Similarly for theta 3. Delta theta 1. Delta is small. Is I'm going to use theta 1 degree max minus theta 1 degree min. Please remember, I have used a bracket because I want to subtract these two divided by number of steps. Okay, so that is going to be my delta theta 1. So similarly I'll have delta theta 2 and delta theta 3. So we are going to use something known as linear trajectory here. Again, I'm going to use copy paste, but ultimately you should be careful when you do this. Okay, so these are the increments that we will add to theta 1, theta 2, theta 3. So please note, everything is dependent on the variables that we are defined. We are not going to hard code anything in between. Okay, so we have basically set up how the angles are changing now. Now we will use a for loop to determine these parameters. Okay, and then we'll start the animation. Right. So to have the for loop, let me use a for. I'm going to use I, which starts from 1 till number of steps. I is starting from 1, 2, 3, 4 till number of steps. That is how we have made it. Or if you want to have, you can also write like this: from 1 in steps of 1, increment of 1 till we reach number of steps. And whenever we have a for, please remember to have an end. Otherwise our program might not look very beautiful. Anyway, end is required, but it's always good to have this end. Okay, now the theta 1, theta 2, theta 3, they have to be put in some array if you want, or you can also simplify your program. Since many of you are learners here, let us simplify the program. So the theta 1 value, I have not defined theta 1 yet. Okay, now this theta 1 will be theta 1 plus I, let me put it this way. Okay, let us do something. Before we start with this for loop, let us have initialize the value of theta 1, and we want to start from the minimum value. Theta 1 min. Okay, so this is the minimum value we have, the lowest value. Similarly, I'll have theta 2 as theta 2 min and theta 3 as theta 3 min. please remember we can do these animation in different ways. I'm just trying to do one of the ways which according to me is simpler for the beginners. Okay, so when we come here, I already have some value of theta 1, so I'm going to use those values. Okay, so we already have ax, bx, cx. I'll just copy this part and I'll paste it inside this ax like this. Okay, so let me get rid of this. Did I use cx anywhere? Might not be unused. Okay, that's fine. So now these values also, if you want, you can take it there and put like this. Now the drawing part, or let's not do the drawing part now, let us do the calculations first and then we'll do the animation. Calculations. Okay, now we need to save the coordinates of ax, ay, bx, by, cx, cy somewhere, right? So how do we do? We'll have ax array, which has, we initialize it as a column vector, okay, where number of rows is number of steps, how many steps we have, and then we have one column, basically that is what it is. We have all zeros. It is one way of initializing. Similarly, we'll have for ay, bx, by, cx, cy. Why we are doing this, I'll explain very briefly. Bx, then yeah, I can write cx here, cx, this is ay, control C, then by, then cy. Please don't get overwhelmed or confused. We'll again review once we do the animation. You'll understand why we have done that. Okay, similarly, if you want an array to hold the phi and phi degree, you can also do that, but I don't want to confuse too much. Let me just get rid of it. So we, whatever value of ax is determined, we will put it in this array because we want to use it later on, either to export it as Excel file or to have animation. We want this data. So ax array, what we have here, we are going to have it in the ith element. We'll save this ax value. That means when we iterate I, that element of this array, we are going to save what we get here in ax. Okay, similarly we are going to do for ay. Ay array, ith element will be ay. See, that is why name convention is very important. You shouldn't do T1, T2, T3, temp1, temp2, temp3, because you will get confused. It's always better we do it like this. So the same thing we'll do for bx. Bx point in bx array, by array will have by point. Similarly, we'll do for the point cx. Cx array will have cx point, cy array will have cy point. Okay, so we, as we go from a different time step, we have determined the coordinates of O is not changing anyway. A point is moving, B point is moving, C point is also moving. All those have been recorded. Now sometimes if you want to have theta 1 array, theta 2 array, theta 3 array, that can also be done here. Okay, similar to this, you can have array created and then you add the values of theta 1 in those. Okay. Now, before we go to the next iteration, there is something very important we should do. Please remember, when we came here for the first time, theta 1 is here, which is having minimum value. If we do not do anything and we proceed further, this theta 1 value will not change. So what do? We'll write theta 1 is equal to theta 1 plus delta of theta 1. Okay. Sometimes in MATLAB it is always good. You just double click on a variable, you will see where all it has been used. Okay, I just did that to make sure that I haven't done any typing mistake. So when we do this, the next time when we get inside the loop, theta 1 will be theta previous value plus delta theta 1, and again previous value plus delta theta 1. So that keeps on happening. So I'll just control C, control V. So similarly theta 2. Okay, somewhere here you may be wondering, can I use number of steps -1 or number of steps +1? That I'll leave it to you. Okay. So theta 3 is delta theta 3. Okay. So these are the calculations or generate Efkin analysis data. So that is what we have done. So the next part is the animation part. So this is where it will become interesting. Okay, so the animation also will have for I is equal to 1 in step of 1 to number of steps. So in the animation we are going to draw the plot. Okay, so what do I do here is we have something known as hold. Okay, so we don't want the axis system to change. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I have drawn the axis system and I will use a plot command and I'm going to draw this axis system. There is a slight deviation from what we had done earlier. Okay, so when we do this, it just draws something, right? 2 lines. It will not draw any other line because we have not asked it to draw. Now in this for loop we would like to keep updating these values. Okay, the angles need to be changed. So one way of doing is we'll use something known as hold on. That means if I put hold on, whatever line I draw, it will be drawn on the same canvas, on the same plot. Okay, so now what is important here is we have to get the AX, AY, BX, BY, CX, CY, but we'll not be using theta 1 because we already have generated it. So what I'll do is I'm going to use AX is equal to AX array will have ith element. See, it's just reverse. What we have done it is we have generated the data. What we are doing here is we are reading the data and then we are animating. You may be wondering, why did we do this? Why didn't we do it directly? Yes, you can do directly, but there is a specific reason, because sometimes we may read data from some text file and we may animate it. That is the reason why we are segregating both. So I'll have AX, AY. Again, there's a lot of typing here, so I'm just going to do a lot of copy pastes. Similarly, I'll have BX. We are reading the data now. BY. Similarly, CX, CY. CX, CY. Okay. Now rest of the code I'll try to use it as it is. because we have defined the variable, so it will not throw an error. So we have the first link go from 0 0 to ax ay, second link will go from ax ay to bx by, third link will go from bx by to cx cy. Okay, now I'm just going to use this guy because we have used hold on, so that means it is going to repeat. Okay, so obviously we already have the coordinate system added here. We don't want to change that. However, we want to have the three links now: blue color, cyan color, and yellow color. Okay, so I'll just get rid of this. So this code, let me save it. Obviously it is not the best code and we may have an error. Well, let's look at it. fkin underscore 3r underscore animation. So this is the file name. So with this, let me try to run it. Okay, something happened. What is this? There are a set of blue lines, there are a set of cyan lines, and there are a set of yellow lines. So obviously, if you understand, so basically it ran so fast that the coordinate system was drawn only once, and it ran 50 time steps for 0 to 30 degrees. So somewhere I have made a mistake. So let us try to look at what is that mistake. We didn't want so many lines to happen. Somewhere that conversion, there is a mistake. Degree, yes, so this is where is the mistake. So I wanted delta theta 1 to be between theta 1 max. This happens. Okay, I am doing it on the fly so that we understand where is the mistake. So programming is not always rosy picture. Okay, so now let us save this and now let us run it. So now you will see that blue link had gone from 0 to 60 and the cyan has gone, and similarly yellow link has gone up. Obviously this is not what we wanted. We wanted it to animate. Each joint should move one after the other. Okay, so to do that, what we can try is, let me close this. There is a pause function and you can give number of seconds 0.001 or maybe 0.1. Okay, so typically we give this in desktop version and maybe also on web version. Okay, I've added a pause function. Let us now execute this and see what happens. Okay, so you can see that it just moved. All these lines were there, but however we still have lot of lines there. We don't want that to happen. Okay, we want it to erase every time we have it. So if you want that to be the case, then whatever we had earlier, we can put it back. This hold on, hold off probably is not. Let me see what needs to be done. Okay, hold on please. I'm just checking what will happen if I put hold off now. Okay, so that means whatever plot I have done, the next time when I come inside, I should erase it and then I should draw this. That is what it means. Let me try. This hold on and off requires a bit of understanding. I hope I am correct this time. Let's see. Yeah, now the animation is happening, but obviously the scale is changing. That means it is resizing itself. Okay, so however, if I zoom out, I'm not allowed to zoom out. Okay, so the interface seems to be a bit buggy. Anyway, so we do have zoom functionality, but obviously it is not looking good. Let me see how best we can try to fix this. This hold on stuff, I'm going to shift this guy. Okay, let me just take it inside and let us try this now. So we'll have a plot. We draw one line, we then call hold on, and we draw the next set of lines, and then we call hold off. Okay, let me shift this after hold off. Okay, let us try, and hopefully this should be the case. Okay, fair enough. As you can see, the function is being executed. The speed may not be very good because of server side issues, and if at all I comment this line, let me see how well it goes. Okay, let me kill it again. I'll start. Okay, it has already reached there, so obviously we need pause, and if you want it to be a bit more fast, so you can just put it like this, and obviously you can change the joint angles. I can go from 0 to 60, maybe 60 to 120, and similarly you can have different set of joint angles, and accordingly the robot will move. Similar data can also be done in RoboAnalyzer software. So you can export this data and verify whether the same is the case with the RoboAnalyzer software. Okay, so how do we export data and all? So basically once you run this, let me run it again. So say 0 to 60 and maybe 60 to 90 and 90 to 180. If I have this value and if I run, so the animation is one part. Okay, I think it is still moving there. So the other part is, okay, this was changed. Let me just do it again, sorry. Let us run. Okay, so this is the animation of a 3R manipulator. Okay, now if you want to validate the result of what you have with respect to the RoboAnalyzer result, you can go to workspace. Okay, Why is it not appearing? So typically we have the workspace, the variables here. So those variable, whatever AX array, AY array, or CX array, CY array, you will be able to export that data. And similarly, you can export similar data in RoboAnalyzer and you can verify. Yeah, for some reason it is not shown here. Same thing can also be done in Octave. You can copy and paste the code here and the animation looks more or less the same. Okay. So in this video we have covered forward kinematics of 3R planar manipulator, and also we have looked at how to do the animation of joint level motion. In the remaining videos we'll understand very basics of inverse kinematics of 2R and the MATLAB implementation, inverse kinematics of 3R and the MATLAB implementation, and finally we'll have the animation of, say, straight line motion, circular motion, all those things. Okay, with that I would like to conclude this session. Thank you.